Hello, 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 hello. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. All right. So, ultimately, this is going to be the fixed size reading for Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. There's Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Um, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Uranus. One of the things that keeps wanting to happen, right, with this particular reading is Virgo, you bombarding. You need to wait your turn. It's already your axis, Virgo, okay? We already in your axis. You need to wait your turn because realistically, it's going to be a lot that will be going on. What I encourage you to do, Virgo, essence, right? Yeah, because it keeps wanting to, but we're a reactionary fixer as a reaction, which means you would have messed a lot of stuff up. And you have to fix what you would have messed up, which means it wasn't a part of your fixed mindset to fix it or to have it put in place. So you have to wait your turn, Virgo. Okay? Yes, this is not your reading. You gonna have to wait. The focus is already on you. So you need to look at varying aspects of your natal charts, right? Yeah, because Virgo energy, I have a tendency to want people to get real ignorant with you. And no one has time for that. That's the only way you really understand things is if, yeah, you do the same thing over and over and then, no. So we're not doing that. So this is for Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio essence, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Uranus, right? In addition, also want you guys also want to pay attention to what it is that will be going on with your North Node. I didn't put that in the other one. And your North Node. Also, it's Saturn retrograde. That's it. We're just realistically fully coming out of Mercury being in retrograde, where communications would have been very important, and we're shifting into Saturn retrograde. Uh, and Venus retrograde is happening a little bit later on in the year. But in Saturn retrograde, it's going to be about the different seeds it is that you want to plant it. All right, Taurus, Virgo? No, not Virgo. Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. It must be a Virgo doing magic right now. It's got to be. It's got to be a Virgo doing some magic right now. Because, yeah, or they must have watched a Earth sign reading and made their own interpretation. You are trying to make it seem like Taurus and Virgo are the same, and Taurus and Virgo are not the same. Virgo, you like to group yourself too much with people. Stand alone. See who you are as you stand alone, Virgo. But Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. Yeah, no, because what the intention would be is even in the Alchemist Cove, right? That I would put Taurus and Virgo up at the top. No, we're not doing that. Yeah, that's that domination bull. Yeah, the ain't that is making me really angry because you're trying to control the reading and you can't control yourself. That's why you want the guidance, and you wouldn't necessarily need the guidance had you taken better notes. And I'm saying that for all Virgos because I notice they don't like taking notes. They try to do things on the intuitive nature, but they. Why do you want me to talk so bad about you? I just heard no, yeah, no, you're not worthy of that conversation. In any event, it's towards Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Uranus. No, because what I'm hearing, the song I'm hearing, it's not matching the energy it is that I'm feeling. Okay, uh, and what it would suggest is pay attention to what your sign does as it shifts in vibration. Because what I'm hearing is "The Blessing Was You" by Lil Baby, right? I love that little song. That's my song. And in the depiction of it, right? Yeah, it's one of those a person being upset that you will be a blessing in their life. Yeah, that's contradictory. Y'all don't start that. That's yeah. It's not even about being a walking contradiction. It's about intentionally contradicting yourself to see if anybody picks up on it. That doesn't make sense. Coming through so The planet that we're looking at is the sun in Capricorn, and the house, right? One of the things you want to pay attention to right off the bat is, I want to say, a couple years ago, the sun did a rotation, right? And within the sun doing a rotation, the sun didn't go quote unquote retrograde in the traditional sense like the other planets do, but it did go retrograde in the respect of the poles shifting. It turned completely around, right? Meaning the North Pole is now the South Pole, and the South Pole is now the North Pole. That happens every 11 years, though. So it's important for those things to be taken into account as well. So with the karma aspect, right? It's the creation of your goals and what makes you feel secure. That's the spiritual aspect. All right. Pay attention to what it is you would create as a goal or you would have as a goal to make you feel secure. Okay. The mental aspect of it is the gaining of respect for or from the day to day reality of support. In short, what it is to be supported and how it is one would identify, recognize, and see in an anchor the reality of what it is to be supported by the universe is kind of what I'm getting from that. Or God, goddess, deities, however you want to see it, but to have your universe actually support you. The physical portion, right, would be things brought to life or light. And this is how it's going to manifest or anchor itself, okay? Things brought to life or light with using the most business-like way in your home base or family. With this coming through the fourth house, pay attention to what's in your fourth house, because your fourth house, that's the house of Cancer. So what it is you would have nurtured about family, friends, support, all of those varying aspects, okay? The other thing about the house of Cancer, it'll be about work, right? It's about work. It's about stability. It's like a higher, not a higher, a multiplied vibration for stability and practicality. What would be considered stable and practical, okay? So, in the tarot aspect, right, what we're going to be reviewing, pay again, this is for the sun sign and where your sun sign will correlate with Capricorn essence. Yeah, with your ambitions and things of that nature, and what constitutes as one being ambitious, right? As well as the recognition of contract and contractual agreements. With so many swords coming out, is given that verbal portion. If one would have made a verbal agreement, and how spiritual agreements are just as important as verbal agreements, because that spiritual agreement would have withstood and grounded itself through the verbal aspect, even though people have a tendency to lie. That's one of them. But also, I heard they lie a lot. They do lie a lot. They really do lie a lot. But don't let that bother you too much, okay? um, but that's the unfortunately, because of the lies that would be told, that would be the reason why you would need the paperwork aspect of things, okay? So ultimately what I'm getting from this, there would have been a situation regarding the indecision. Okay, what I'm hearing is how it is that one would be able to betray a world that would have been created for a small offer of stability. That's that. The other portion of it is it would have been indecision on the ending of the world that would have been created for a small offer of stability. What you really want to pay attention to, right? And the highest vibration, it'll be talking about some indecisions over what it is that will happen over the course of 10 days within uh oh, within how it is one way. Yeah, in short, the I don't huh, yeah, no, with that whole Virgo aspect of I don't know how to wait. The impatience. That's part of, well, it is a virtue. Yeah. And I always encourage, regardless, yeah, this is a situational thing that will be coming in. But if you used to getting everything you want right then, right, right there and right there. One of the other things it's given is one not knowing what to do over the course of 10 days or for 10 days. And a little, I just heard something about a little pride being set aside. Yeah. Here's a deal that comes into place with pride. There is pride that comes into place with saying you don't know, because that opens the door for you to have an opportunity to learn. There's that. The other portion of it is, if you wouldn't have, is given that whole, if I knew then what I know now. That's the attitude and altitude that will be coming into place with this. Okay, let's see what else we got. Yep, within one expanding. Yeah, no, because some of the work it is, okay, and that's it, okay, because some of the work it is that would have been done, it would have been so a person wouldn't have to reciprocate. Wouldn't have to reciprocate, there wouldn't be reciprocation. And 6 years ago. So this is realistically going to be based around a situation that would have taken place 6 years ago. For us alchemical people, right? For us alchemists, it'll be about the incoming form of reciprocation over the course of 2 days. And there would have been a wish fulfillment. Now, because some of it will be about the wish fulfillment and grants. I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. What happened at Grant's Farm? Grant's Farm and the farm. Now, the other portion of it, right? Yeah, what it would be, whether or not how one's good fortune wouldn't pause one being out of conflict. The good fortune from 4 days ago not being due to one winning at all costs. What is given is when you need things. I just heard, and a misinterpretation of abundance. Absolutely. One of the things I'm gonna go ahead and say, I said this in some readings it is that I did a few months ago, when I was at the storage unit. You can have an abundance, but an abundance doesn't mean that it's gonna be good. You can have an abundance of bad luck. You can have an abundance of good luck. In that regard, with what I'm picking up on, you were told to stop. You were told to stop. But from what this is given, yeah, it's one of those, we waiting on how a person's indecision to end one's waiting. It would be a small offer of stability for an expansion within there being this wish fulfillment. And some of this is going to be about wish fulfillment, grants, pregnancies, and even in September. In short, pay attention to what happens during this particular time of year. Because, yeah, September is typically constituted as the fall, but a lot of people who study wrong and study long. Absolutely. Study long and study wrong. And if you studying wrong and long, I mean, you're not even looking at the right topics. You're not looking at the right subject matter or anything. What's the point in having your head in a book if you're not really paying attention to what the book is? It's also given in that regard, Facebook. Y'all don't, yeah, in any event, this other portion, right, that will be coming into place is with one's fortune being in the upright, not having to pause, not having to stop. And one's fortune would have been in the upright 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. No, because what it's given is that 4-5. The other part, that's a saying too. But the other part of this is what will be coming in is resting at all costs. I'm just hearing, and the defense rests. So whether this is spiritual court or actual court, I don't know. But the incoming clarity that would have would come within, like this Two of Swords, it in some cases it does mean indecision, but also it would be about feeling what the decision is, or what the clarity would be inside one's heart versus the clarity that would be presented in regards to healing over the course of 5 days, pausing over the course of 5 days. And I don't want to say the other one, but we all know, yeah, the whole fortune that comes into place with one not dying. You still can keep going. No, because I did see Lauren Hill, and it was a killing me softly with his song. That's by Roberta, but it being by Roberta Flack. Yep, and then yeah, there's Seven of Swords coming into place with it, and how one not being well, not even necessarily, but 2 years ago, the imbalance that comes with stealing. In short, the that's not yours, right? At the lowest vibration, at the highest vibration, it'll be about 2 years ago what it is that would have been taken by winning at all costs. Yes, like taking what you 2 years ago, taking what you need and leaving the rest. And when what you take is too much, taking too much, that's what that's gonna be about. What it is for one to take too much 2 years ago. Okay, so Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. For us, this is gonna be about taking too much. For Virgo, that keeps honing in, you wanting in that regard, you stealing information and blessings that would be for a fixed mindset that you don't have, and you're only changing your mindset so that you can get what isn't yours. That's part of it. The other part of it is uh yeah, because where it's given is, if like say for instance in your fourth house, because all of this is situational. None of this is major arcana. This is a whole bunch of situational, her say what you have. This is a whole bunch of situational bullshit. The only major arcana thing is you would go through this indecision of what it is to end, waiting for a relationship to build or grow, which is countering, or not countering, which is an accompaniment with the karma of the day-to-day reality, is given the whole delusional aspect that comes into place, and the mutability of what it is for one not to rest, right? And it being that whole I don't get tired. And it's one of those, your body, you may not be tired, your brain may not be tired, but your body does need rest so that it can reset. So it's that part. The other portion of it is, here we go with this third party situation again. It's either third party or celebration. Youth warrior sage. What this is giving, it's not giving youth warrior sage. Pause. It's the way that men handle emotions. Because these are all male cards that are showing up, except even with this Two of Swords being in reverse. It indicates the indecision that comes with what it is to be, to do and have masculine essence. The other thing is in this contractual aspect, it'll be for one, yeah, according to the contract or the devil essence, the stickiness, it'll be about one not resting, one not healing. And what it is that would have been agreed with 4 days ago in regards to the chakra and what it is that would have been clearing out with one's attractiveness, or Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or yes, this is in the upright, or realistically, to set your awareness apart, to recognize your awareness being set apart from others, and the dynamics by which that will come within asking for assistance or asking for help. Yeah, because once you ask for help, then you know what you need to, right? Her feeding the soul, yeah, and what it is to feed the soul. If you feeding the soul, yeah, because they got a couple different things, right? Yeah, one of the things it would be how many plates would you have put out for as a food offering? And did you taste it or eat it first? That's always really important. Yeah, because y'all people poison deities. You think they not gonna poison a person? Come on now, quit playing. But then asking for assistance, yeah, and actual healing that will come into place with asking for assistance and providing justice or balance. Shifting one's stability, it being just, that being the justice for healing. Yeah, on the lowest aspect, I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, because you get some people who put people in predicaments where they can't change their situation, but they want them to still deal with that person, or they want you to still deal with them. It's like, yeah, but you didn't fix this for me. I fixed it for me, and the way I fixed it is by asking for help from somebody other than you. Here's the deal. Unfortunately, just because you ask a person for help, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have an obligation to help you. But on that same token, I heard, go ahead and say what you have to. I like the way it came. Yeah, it was like they were shaking their head. Just because you ask a person for help doesn't mean that A, they have to help you. And B, it also doesn't mean that they'll get the blessings that are associated with helping you. And if you know that a person will need a particular type of help, yeah, it'll be about the offering and the lookout for them. That's what that's giving. And then it being some things that will be hidden within the actions that would have come into place with this whole King of Wands aspect in the upright. Yeah, and what King of Wands essence is, right? Yeah, because it's given the whole, yeah, the wizard, the wizarding world, and warlocks and all this other stuff is part of it, and the difference between a man doing candle magic versus a woman doing candle magic, the supposed difference between a man doing candle magic and a woman doing candle magic. That's that part. The other, excuse me, the other portion of it is what it is that would be hidden. Yeah, because where it fell out is the end. 2 days ago, there being an end, and that would have been, yeah, an emotional end. The emotional instability coming to an end. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, to break this down even a little bit better, right? What it's giving is even regardless of what it is you have, doesn't matter what the situation is. Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio doesn't base things in the fixed mindset. Yeah, how a lot of people hate it when we say stuff like it is what it is. That was a situational aspect, and those situational portions are taken into account when you're dealing with contracts, structural structures, spiritual contracts especially, because it's a testament of your character. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm hoping to it helps you guys out. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and seal this reading. Um, the energy of today into this reading. So, and we're gonna lock it up. All right. All right. Light and love to you all. Okay. Cause see, remember, light work. It ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work.